The Greek gods, a pantheon of power and myth. Was a powerful and temperamental deity. He was often depicted as a bearded man riding a chariot pulled by seahorses. Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, grain, and the harvest. Demeter was associated with the cycle of the seasons. She was a kind and nurturing deity, but she could also be vengeful if her domain was threatened. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare, and crafts. Athena was a virgin goddess who was born from the head of Zeus. She was often depicted wearing a helmet and carrying a spear. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and desire. Aphrodite was one of the most popular deities in Greek mythology. She was often associated with the rose and the dove. Ares, the god of war, violence, and bloodshed. Ares was a controversial figure in Greek mythology. He was often depicted as a brutal and savage warrior. Hephaestus, the god of fire, metalworking, and volcanoes. Hephaestus was a skilled craftsman who created many of the weapons and tools used by the gods. He was often depicted as lame or deformed. Apollo, the god of the sun, music, poetry, and healing. Apollo was a popular and versatile deity. He was often associated with the lyre and the bow. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, wild animals, and the moon. Artemis was a virgin goddess who was known for her independence and her skill with the bow. Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Hermes was a swift and clever deity who was associated with travel, commerce, and thievery. He was often depicted wearing winged sandals and carrying a caduceus. Dionysus, the god of wine, revelry, and theater. Dionysus was a wild and unpredictable deity who was often associated with the grapevine and the thyrsus. Other important deities. In addition to the 12 Olympians, there were many other important deities in Greek mythology. Some of the most notable include Hades, the god of the underworld. Hades was a somber and powerful deity who ruled over the dead. Hestia, the goddess of the hearth, home, and family. Hestia was a peaceful and gentle deity who was often associated with the domestic sphere. Pan, the god of the countryside, forests, and shepherds. Pan was a playful and mischievous deity who was often associated with the flute. Nymphs, a class of minor deities associated with nature. Nymphs were often depicted as beautiful young women who lived in forests, rivers, or mountains. The Greek gods were more than just powerful beings. They were also complex characters with their own personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. They interacted with mortals, forming relationships, granting favors, and imposing punishments. Through their stories, the Greek gods offered ancient Greeks a way to understand the world around them and to find meaning in their own lives.